Hi guys, BMW ChrisW here. We're going to do a video review today of the BMW i8. This is a very exciting car, so let's get started.
So here it is. This is the Sophisto Gray Metallic. The gas engine makes 228 horsepower, 236 pound-feet of torque, while the motor makes 129 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque, totaling at 357 horsepower and 420 pound-feet of torque through a 6-speed automatic transmission. These are the 20-inch rims. I have the doors open up right now. We'll show you how those work in just a few moments. Just want to show you a little bit of the car first. There's a couple shots of it. Really nice angle with those doors up there. The engine of the car is mounted in the back, just of the top of those rear wheels. Here's a shot of it. I'll give you some close-up of the badging there. The CIA badge there, the E-Drive. What's very interesting with the BMW i8 is there is a gap here in the back. That is for the air. It makes the vehicle more aerodynamic and more fuel efficient. But what's also very interesting, not very many people know about, is it's actually the same thing at the bottom here. I'll show you in just a quick second. You can see here from the bottom of the car, it's designed so that it gets air underneath there as well. The shape of the mirrors is really nice as well. You can see it's got a nice kind of point tip there. These are your LEDs here. Car looks really sharp at night. So let's look inside and get into more detail about it. One thing I'd like to show you here is the car has a carbon core construction. I zoomed in all the way here so you can see a little bit more of the material. It's carried over onto the doors as well. It's all made out of lightweight material.
This is what the seats look like. Okay, they're actually very thin. This one in particular has the blue seat belts on it, which looks really nice. You have a beautiful blue stitching here as well. It goes all the way down. Very nice. Now getting in the i8, you actually have to kind of sit down like that and then kind of twist over to get in. It's very weird to do that. Okay, so here we are inside the i8. It's actually running right now, but it's quiet. You can't even hear anything. This is what the steering wheel looks like. You get the nice blue ring around it. Okay. We go ahead and look at the detail in the stitching, right? This is actually this material here, and over here as well. It's similar to Nappa leather. I tried to figure out what it was called, but I couldn't get an exact answer on what the actual material is called. Maybe if you guys know what it is, you can leave me a comment below to tell me what the material is below. You have some storage compartments down here. That's just what the key is. This is what the key look like. There's the keys right there. That's what they look like. Very interesting. Okay. This is your active damper control right here. So you would adjust your from eco mode to comfort mode here. I'll talk about those in a bit. And then if you want to go to sport mode, it's different. In normal BMWs you have sport mode here, but on the i8 you actually have to shift the shifter over to the left, and then you'll get to the sport mode there that way. Okay. This is your iDrive right here. And the iCars are a little bit different. You have a blue menu now. Normally it's an orange menu in this year of production. Okay. All your navigation is in there. And we could spend an hour talking about the iDrive. You know, I'll include that in a separate video. But everything's there, like multimedia, radio, telephone navigation, all that kind of stuff. So it's very cool. I just want to talk about this video specifically on the i8, right? If you look at the dash, Here's what the dash looks like. You have a nice beautiful blue stitching on it. Carried all the way around the whole front of the car. Very, very beautiful indeed. So BMW gives you a little storage here as well. This is the nice Napa-like material that I was talking about. They give you a little storage down there as well. You can get an adapter for your phone. Not a whole lot of storage, but you know, you get a cup holder there. They give you a little bit of practicality with it as well, right? So, to start up the i8, you just put your foot on the brake, tap the start button here. You have a digital displays here. This is what the startup sound is like. Okay. So this is what it is like right now in the comfort mode. If I go down here, it'll put it into eco mode. Okay. Which will help make the car more fuel efficient. Or if I go to comfort mode here, it makes the car comfort in the sense that it will adjust the dampers and whatnot to keep you relatively comfortable on the road. It's the same thing in eco mode as well, but it limits a little bit of the power so you can have more fuel efficient. Okay. And then if I have my foot on the brake right now, if I go ahead and put it in a drive, okay, and this is how you put it in sport mode. And once you shift the shifter over to the left like that, it starts up the engine. You could probably hear a little bit of that sound. And this is your displays that come up here. These are the sport displays. So it shows your RPMs, and it gives you a nice red, orange kind of look to it to remind you that you're in a sports car. Now to open and close the doors, if they're all electronic controlled, you press this button here, and the doors come up like so. And to get out, you have to, there's no real definitive way of getting out. You just kind of have to figure it out and get out. So you kick your legs out and then you grab on it and then you get out. The i8 also has a manual release just in case you get locked inside the car. You just push this button and you'll be able to get out. Visibility inside the car is quite good as well. I'll show you kind of around the back here. You can see your blind spots. You can see out the back window pretty well as well. Okay. Now the back space in here, you can tell by the seats, there's not a whole lot of room back here. This is actually where I would have it to drive. You can kind of see just a little bit. It's not a whole lot of leg room.
This vehicle has a 3-cylinder 1.5 liter turbo engine from the Mini. This is also a modular engine. What that means is a lot of the components that are used in this engine are carried over across the BMW brands through the other engines. For example, the straight six, the 4-cylinder that's used in the BMW. It's actually 70% of the parts are carried over and used in the Mini engines as well. So you're actually getting a genuine BMW engine with this car. Now there is a way to open the hood, but I didn't show it here in this video because it requires 2 people to do it. Usually it's not recommended, only for technicians to do it. I'll show you the back here. The back actually opens up. There's a panel glass here. As far as I can know, the only way to actually open it is from the key. Maybe you can comment below to see if there's another way to open it from inside the car. You have some groceries back here. It's not a really big opening, but it's definitely usable in terms of cargo space there.
There's your charger cable that you get that comes with the car. Pretty decent sized space. You know, it's not a whole lot, but if you were doing some groceries or something, you could definitely fit some stuff in here. And then just close this back up here. You'll have a tiny little bit amount more room here, but not really recommended, because that's kind of where you would need to see out of it. And what's very interesting is this is actually a glass panel right here. I never really knew about that before, but there's a glass panel there, and then you have a glass trunk here as well, okay?
What's interesting is the tires of these cars, commonly asked, is how come they're so skinny. These are actually P215/45R20 tires, which is a squared setup as well, which means that the front and rear are the exact same. It's very well balanced nonetheless, as the engine sits just behind the rear seats and the electric motors in the front. The result is you have a very, very well balanced car.
Okay guys, next we're going to take the BMW i8 for a test drive and see how it drives. Let's get started. I love the blue seat belts. Okay, I just turned it off. I didn't turn it on. Okay, now it's on. That's the thing with these electric cars. You never know if they're on or off. So you can hear that artificial exhaust. Okay, it's not a real, it's an exhaust sound. It comes through the speakers, okay? but it is probably the best artificial exhaust ever. That is a nice sounding exhaust. Listen to this. Unbelievable handling. It sits very, very level because all the weight is down at the bottom of the floor of the car because it has that electric motor and that battery. That's really heavy stuff. They mount it right at the bottom, and it's a carbon fiber construction of the whole car, right? That's a nice sound. So, but yeah, because they do that, the whole balance of the car is extremely well balanced. It's about 50-50 weight distribution, and just as a normal BMW, that's kind of what they're known for, right? But this is not a normal BMW because this is actually a very special car, right? That sound, though. Very, very interesting is, I'm not sure if you're gonna be able to hear it on the microphone or not, but as you're accelerating, you actually hear a little bit of that battery. No, sorry, not the battery, but the electric motor. It's like a really kind of high pitched kind of whine. I'll give it a little bit of gas and pay attention. See if you can hear the that engine kind of whine. Sorry, that not engine whine, the battery, the electric motor whine. Okay. It's like a really high kind of swoosh kind of noise. It's really, really interesting. Can't downshift it too early. The steering feel is unbelievable. I like this steering feel. It's like solid, but it's light at the same time. But they have that perfect balance of a proper steering wheel where it's not too lifeless, but it's still heavy enough. We have a tunnel coming up here. I wonder if you can actually hear a little bit of that. This is going to be very interesting, okay? That was interesting. Here we go. Stop and go traffic time. What's interesting is this is only the lowest the window will actually go down. It's only about to here, I think. So you can't really, I mean, I guess you could, kind of. I'm waiting to turn left, but there's a lot of traffic and cars and everybody looking at me and thinking, wow, that's a cool car, and not looking where they're going. It's highway time. Let's see how it handles on the highway. Sorry, not handles on the highway. What am I saying? I mean, how comfortable of a ride it is on the highway. Okay, I put it in. Wow, you see how much quieter that got? I just put it in comfort mode, okay? Or rather, is that comfort or eco mode? It's very quiet and very comfortable over the bumps. One thing that very surprises me with the i8 is it's actually very, very comfortable. Like, you know, you see a low kind of sports car, you know, how all exotic looking, you think it's probably going to be like a really harsh ride, you know, and just like, you go over a bump, you feel every little rock, every little tiny amount of dirt, but you don't. Like, it's quiet. You can drive it. You can drive it every day. You can drive this car every day. It'll be comfortable. It's high enough off the ground so that you can actually clear most bumps and everything. You don't have to worry too much about that. But whenever you want to, obviously, kick that shifter over to the left, give it a little downshift, right? You're in a sports car, right? Very, very great car. I would say this is probably my new favorite BMW, just because, you know, I work for BMW, right? I've driven all the BMWs, and I think I like this the most. You know, oh, of course you like it the most, Chris. That's because it's the $160,000 car, right? But I mean, like, it's worth it. You know, like it's like you could have like $60,000-$80,000 car, and you know, it would be a really nice car indeed. Don't get me wrong, you know. And I've driven the M cars as well, right? And I love the M cars, right? M4, M2, M6. You know, M6 is kind of a bit of a heavier car, right? But this is light. You know, it's tossable. It's very low center of gravity. You can actually drive this thing every day. You know, it's not uncomfortable by any means, and it's pretty fast, and it's comfortable at the same time. Like, they could have thrown an M4 engine in here, but they didn't, because that's not what the car was about. They wanted to make the car kind of, you know, unique in its own respect, right? In a very futuristic kind of way. By that I mean, they wanted to make something that's very, very fast, very fuel efficient, right? I mean, it's a sports car, and it's super fuel efficient for what it is. And what you can do is you can drive it just fully in electronic mode, right? Fully in electric mode, so that you don't even use any gas on. So that was the BMW i8. It was BMW ChrisW. Just want to say, hope you enjoyed this video. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll have more video reviews of cool cars coming your way, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.